Cut them off. Narcissists don't deserve another second of your presence. Narcissists will drain every last drop of energy from you if you let them. They don't care about your well-being. They don't care about your happiness. They don't even care about you as a person, only as a source of supply. That's why the best thing you can do, the only real way to free yourself from their grasp, is to cut them off completely. Not later, not after one last conversation, not after giving them one more chance, right now. Because every second you keep them in your life is another second you give them the power to hurt you, manipulate you, and keep you trapped in their toxic cycle. And let's be honest, haven't they already taken enough? Before we get started, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who needs to hear this message. The more we spread awareness, the more people we can help break free from narcissistic abuse and reclaim their lives. Now let's dive into why cutting off a narcissist is the only answer, and why they don't deserve even a single second more of your presence. Narcissists are masters of deception, and their greatest trick is making you doubt yourself. The moment you start thinking about leaving, the second you begin to pull away, they sense it. And that's when they shift gears. Suddenly, they become the exact person you always hoped they would be. They say all the right words, make all the right promises, and shower you with just enough affection to make you second-guess your decision. They'll tell you they've changed, that they finally understand what they did wrong, that they can't imagine life without you. They'll beg for another chance, insisting that things will be different this time. But don't fall for it, because it's all an act. Narcissists don't change. They adapt. They watch your reactions, study what works, and mold themselves into whatever they need to be in order to keep you hooked. It's never about love, remorse, or self-improvement. It's about control. And once they feel secure again, once they know you've let your guard down, the mask slips. The same destructive behaviors that made you want to leave in the first place come creeping back, little by little. The manipulation, the gaslighting, the emotional abuse, it all returns, often worse than before. They feel emboldened, knowing that they got away with it once again. Every time you forgive them, every time you give them another chance, you reinforce the idea that they can treat you however they want, and you'll still stay. That's why cutting them off completely is the only way to truly break free. No more conversations. No more explanations. No more chances. Because the moment you open that door, even just a little, they will find a way to slip back in. They thrive on testing boundaries, on pushing limits, on seeing how much they can get away with. If you allow them even the smallest bit of access to your life, they will use it to regain their hold over you. It might start with a simple message, something harmless on the surface. I miss you. I just want to talk. I hope you're doing okay. But the second you respond, they know they still have influence over you. And from there, they will manipulate their way right back into your life, convincing you to give them yet another chance. But you deserve better. You deserve to live a life free from their control, free from their toxic cycle, free from the constant emotional roller coaster they put you through. The only way to win is to walk away and never look back. Block them, ignore them, cut off all contact. Because the second you stop reacting, the second you take away their power, they lose. And the best part, you finally get to reclaim your life, your peace, and your happiness, without them poisoning it ever again. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to cut off narcissists is guilt. They make you feel like you owe them something. Maybe they remind you of everything they've done for you, even though all of it came with strings attached. Maybe they guilt-trip you by acting like a victim, making you feel responsible for their emotional state. Or maybe they use their favorite trick, rewriting history, to make you doubt your own reality. But here's the truth. You don't owe a narcissist anything. Not your time, not your energy, not your sympathy. The only thing you owe yourself is freedom. The moment you cut a narcissist off, they will panic. At first, they might act like they don't care. They'll pretend to be unbothered, flaunting a new relationship, posting on social media about how amazing their life is, or acting like they never needed you in the first place. But don't fall for the act. This is their way of trying to make you second-guess your decision. They want you to feel like you made a mistake so that you'll come running back. But deep down, they are losing their minds. The thought of not being able to control you anymore is unbearable to them. They don't know how to function without a source of supply, and when you take that away from them, they start to unravel. Then, when their indifference act doesn't work, they'll try a different approach. They'll reach out with a harmless message, maybe pretending to check on you or asking for closure. But their goal isn't closure, it's reopening the door. If you respond even just to say, "Please leave me alone," they take it as a win. To a narcissist, any reaction is better than no reaction because it means they still have access to you. That's why the best response is no response at all. Silence is their worst nightmare. It tells them, loud and clear, that they no longer matter. And nothing destroys a narcissist more than realizing they've lost their grip on you. Cutting off a narcissist isn't just about removing them from your life. It's about reclaiming your power. For so long, they controlled your emotions, dictated your reality, and made you feel like you weren't enough. But the moment you cut them off, you take all of that back. You show them that they never had real power over you, that it was only an illusion. And once you see that truth for yourself, you'll wonder why you ever let them stay in your life for as long as you did. Of course, cutting off a narcissist isn't always easy. They will do everything in their power to pull you back in. They'll apologize, cry, beg, and promise to change. They'll remind you of the good times, making you question whether things were really that bad. And if that doesn't work, they'll shift to anger, insulting you, blaming you, and trying to make you feel like the villain. But through it all, you must remember one thing. None of it is real. It's just another manipulation tactic designed to make you doubt yourself and let them back in. Don't fall for it. The longer you stay in a narcissist's life, the more damage they will do. Every time you forgive them, they push the limits further. Every time you give them another chance, they become more confident that you'll never leave for good. And every time you engage with them, even in anger, you are giving them exactly what they want: attention, control, and the validation that they still matter to you. That's why the only way to truly win is to walk away and never look back. The best part: when you cut them off, they don't get closure. Narcissists hate nothing more than being ignored because it forces them to face the one thing they've been running from their entire lives, themselves. Without someone to manipulate, without someone to feed their ego, they are left with nothing but their own emptiness. And that emptiness terrifies them. That's why they fight so hard to keep you around, because without you, they are nothing. And while they're busy spiraling, you will be healing. You will be rebuilding your life, rediscovering who you are, and finally experiencing the peace that comes with being free. You will no longer wake up every day wondering what version of them you'll have to deal with. You will no longer spend your nights overanalyzing their words, trying to figure out what you did wrong. Because the truth is, you never did anything wrong. The problem was never you, it was always them. And now you finally get to move on. If you are still wondering whether you should cut off the narcissist in your life, let me make it clear for you. Yes, you absolutely should. And not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel emotionally ready. Do it now. The longer you wait, the more they will drain you, manipulate you, and keep you trapped in their toxic cycle. You don't need to wait for them to change, because they never will. They might pretend, they might promise, they might swear up and down that they're different this time, but it's all a lie. They aren't capable of genuine change because they don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. They don't feel guilt for the pain they cause. They don't reflect on their actions and think, maybe I was wrong. Instead, they find ways to justify everything, shifting the blame onto you and everyone else. You also don't need to wait for closure, because closure from a narcissist does not exist. If you're hoping for them to suddenly admit to their wrongdoings, to apologize sincerely, or to give you a heartfelt explanation for why they treated you so terribly, you will be waiting forever. They will never take responsibility. They will never acknowledge the damage they caused. And even if they do offer some kind of apology, it will only be a manipulation tactic to lure you back in. Narcissists don't apologize because they feel remorse. They apologize because they need something from you. They want to keep you hooked, to keep you doubting yourself, to keep you in a position where they still have control over your emotions. That's why the best thing you can do is walk away without looking back. You don't owe them a final conversation. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them anything. And don't wait for the perfect moment to cut them off, because that moment will never come. If you keep searching for the right time, you will only find excuses to stay. Maybe you think you need to wait until they do something truly unforgivable. Maybe you're hoping that one final fight will push you over the edge. But the truth is, they have already done enough. You already know the truth about who they are. You already know that they don't deserve you. And every second you give them is another second wasted on someone who never appreciated you in the first place. They don't deserve your love. They don't deserve your time. They don't deserve your energy, your kindness, or your presence. They never did, and they never will. The moment you accept this, the moment you decide that you are done for good, that is the moment you set yourself free. And when you finally break away, when you finally remove them from your life completely, you will realize something powerful. You never needed them. They needed you. They needed your attention, your care, your emotions to fuel them. And once you take that away, they are left with nothing. So do it now. Cut them off. Reclaim your life and never look back. Because the best decision you will ever make is walking away from someone who was never worthy of you in the first place. And when you do, you will find peace, healing, and happiness waiting on the other side.